Hi everybody, it's Professor Laucella. As promised, this week I'm submitting a video on how to get started on your final project. So let's go. All right, so you're going to be thinking about what interests you as we work towards this final project. So this would be step one, is figuring out what you're interested in researching in the field of education. So I think the best way to get started would be to review the lesson topics from each week on the course calendar and see which one speaks to you the most. So on the course calendar, you have a list of questions. So let's take a look at that real quick. So for example, on week 10, we talk about teaching with care and compassion, or composing a teacher identity. So these are topics that you can review to see which one you want to learn more about outside of the readings that we've already done. And remember that you can also use some of these readings in your project as sources. Also, make sure that you go back and review the assignment requirements for the final project listed on the syllabus and on the rubric for the assignment. But some things to keep in mind as you move forward is that the video should be 12 to 15 minutes long. It should be narrated. So if you want to use slides or Screencast-O-Matic or whatever medium that you're interested in using, just to make sure that it's narrated. Your project should have at least 6 quality and peer-reviewed sources. So if you're not familiar with peer-reviewed sources mean, it means that they have gone under what it sounds like a peer review, typically with a journal entities, and they undergo a strict process of selecting who can publish in that journal, and to make sure what is being published is accurate and true. So the best way to find peer-reviewed sources, you can do this through UB Learns, or you can also type in the library webpage here. So it's library.buffalo.edu. Again, you can find it through UB Learns on your student page. But basically, you have free access to basically everything in the library. So you can look up the catalog if you're going to be there in person. You can choose ebooks if you're not on campus often, e-journals, and you can search through their databases. So maybe a quick search for what is learning. Okay, and I'm going to move my screen just a little bit, but you can see there's more than 20 million sources available, and you can screen those out by choosing scholarly and peer-reviewed sources. So here you can see you have peer-reviewed sources. You also have books, which typically are peer-reviewed since they go under an editing process. So you can also do that, and a lot of times you can access the full text online. So that's a good resource as well. You can use Google Scholar, but what I would suggest doing is cross-checking that reference in the university library system to see if it's peer-reviewed, or maybe ask me what I think about it. It's always helpful to either chat with a librarian or actually go there in person. They can help you figure out, help you search. So if you're just not familiar with doing a research project, then those are some great resources for you, and you can also go to the Writing Center as well. The video should be turned in on time, so make sure that you get it in on time so you don't get any points deducted, and the video is creative. So think about how you can incorporate visuals, interaction, and maybe even music, that sort of thing, to make your video captivating. So we've done some multimodal presentations, and I know I really like to see what you guys come up with. So think about ways that you can make it interactive. All right, step 2 would be creating a research question. So once you've decided what you're interested in researching, you're going to create a research question around that to kind of guide your focus. So your research question should be specific and precise, carefully worded to assess what you will be researching. So again, you can keep your focus narrow, because as you see, if you do a quick search on what is learning, there's many sources. So I've done maybe not a very good research question example, but if you're interested in learning what does it mean to learn, then your question could look something like this: what is known about learning? And so you could do some searches on learning theories, since that's something that we've discussed. And we know that relates back to what is known about learning. So you can explore more about cognitivism, social constructivism, behaviorism. You can return to some of those sources that we used before and look up new ones. And then maybe find some current peer-reviewed studies on learning. So what does the academic world right now know about learning? What are some of the studies that they're doing to learn more about learning? So that would be one way that you could approach the assignment. So some things thinking forward, moving forward, there's a few deadlines coming up pretty quickly. So that's why I want us to get started as soon as possible. So after spring break, when you come back from spring break for next week, you're going to go ahead and choose your topic. So maybe start thinking about it now. And then you're going to choose your topic by March 31st and post it to the discussion board by then. And so just like we did with the learning theories, I will sign off on your topic or maybe ask you more questions about it just to make sure that I understand what you're interested in researching. Then by April 7th, you're going to choose a minimum of 6 sources. So again, we want to focus on trying to use peer-reviewed sources and submit them in a reference page in APA formatting by April 7th. So this is where I really would like you to buckle down and start really making sure that your APA formatting is correct. So if you still need help with this, then please go to the Writing Center or ask me to take a look at it. Because when you submit your references page on April 7th, I would like it to have minimal errors. And I know that's something that we have struggled with a lot during this course. So make sure that you work really hard on that. Then I'd like you to submit a rough outline for your project. You're going to be doing an elevator pitch the next week, so you don't have to be too in detail on this, but make sure that you either provide me with a synopsis or a video script or something like that by April 14th. Just a brief idea of what you're doing, what you've come up with so far. So I know by the time you're ready for your elevator pitch, you already have some ideas down of what you want to do. You're going to present your elevator pitch by April 28th, and you will receive feedback from me and your course mates during week 13. So make sure that those are submitted on time so we have enough time to get feedback to you. And then you will have plenty of time from week 13 until your final presentation is due by May 10th in order to finish your presentation and make any tweaks based on the constructive feedback that you received. So just in brief, your elevator pitch is completed before you complete your final presentation. So that's what you'll be submitting first to receive feedback on before you move on to your final project. In this case, the elevator pitch is kind of like a mini proposal. So you're telling me, you're proposing to me and your course mates, what are you going to be researching and what are you going to be doing? So this should be a short video that demonstrates to me and the class what you'll be researching. So I would say probably no more than 5 minutes, since your total video for your presentation should be 12 to 15 minutes. It should definitely be more than a minute long though. So I would shoot for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes for this video. And you're going to discuss the type of sources that you'll be using, how you plan on presenting your information. You could include aspects of your outline that you submitted the week before in your elevator pitch, so you really are showing us what your plan is and that you're well organized. So this is a great way to start to conceptualize your project way ahead of time and to receive that constructive feedback before the final piece. So you know going into the final project, you're really confident. So I've designed it this way to break down the final project in multiple steps, not to make extra work for you, but to help you get in the practice of organizing your thoughts, organizing yourself, and also getting feedback on your work before you submit the final piece. If there's any questions about any of these steps or about how to use the library or how to find sources, or APA formatting, go ahead and shoot me an email. But maybe start on your own trying to find out more information yourself. So maybe go to the library and ask them for help, or go to the Writing Center and ask them for help, or I think they should have online chats and that sort of thing as well. So start trying to find some independence in this and see how that goes, and start using some of the campus resources to help you along the way. But don't be afraid to email me with any questions about the final project. If you want to bounce any ideas off of me first as well, that's totally fine. So good luck, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.